Okay, good morning. Once again, chapter number 4, Literary Heritage of India. Literary heritage, that means the literature. That here we are going to talk and going to discuss about the different types of the literature that we called them as a heritage. The literature also act as a heritage. The old writings, manuscript, written data, even rock carving, that is an inscription of the rocks. These are the literature. Even other so many things, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and so other religious books and the spiritual books and the poems and drama and so on. So we will discuss about all these things in this chapter. Okay, so let's have a quick look on the language and the literature. See, earlier people used to talk with each other by showing the gestures. After the gestures, the pictorial language has been started in use. So they used to convey the message, they used to talk by drawing the pictures. And the evidences of this pictorial language we have founded from the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Even this pictorial language we have found from the Madhya Pradesh Bhimbedka. Okay, let's see. If we quick look at the history, we can see the emergence of the varieties of the languages since centuries. These languages influenced one another and it resulted in the development of the literature. As a result, some new languages and the literature has developed and flourished. The best example is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is called as a language of deities, and during the Vedic period the Sanskrit has developed and flourished. So out of the Sanskrit a various other language has been derived. For example, Hindi, Gujarati, Bengali, Marathi, Punjabi, these are the languages derived from the Sanskrit. So the mother is the Sanskrit for the rest of the language which I have told you. Sanskrit language is less in use in a present time, but the religious ceremony and the worshipping rituals are dealt in the Sanskrit languages. See, nowadays people are using less Sanskrit because Sanskrit, the demand of the Sanskrit is now less because the people are using their own native languages now. But during the time of the rituals and the ceremonies performed by the Brahmins and all, at that time the Sanskrit is used and the people are dealing with the Sanskrit. India's most ancient script is that of the Harappan civilization, which has not been deciphered, and so we have not obtained much information about their language. Decipher means decode. We have found the written language from the Mohenjo-daro and Harappan excavation site, but we are unable to decipher it. Decipher, that is called as a decode. हम वो लैंग्वेज को आज तक समझ ही नहीं पाए कि क्या लिखा है एग्जैक्टली उनका कहने का मतलब क्या है, इसीलिए हम अभी उनकी लैंग्वेज के बारे में हमें कुछ पता नहीं. Maharshi Panini was a great Sanskrit grammarian. The most important book of this time, Maharshi Panini's, that is Ashtadhyayi, which is noteworthy book of the Sanskrit grammar of the 4th century. This is important thing. You may be asked a question regarding this in the 1 or 2 mark, that who was the Panini and what he did. So the Panini was a Sanskrit grammarian and he had written a grammar book, that is the Ashtadhyayi, and he had also given the Ashtang Yoga. Ashtang Yoga includes Yam, Niyam, Asan, Dhyan, Dharana, Pratyahar, and Samadhi. These are the 8 types of the yoga. So he told it as a Astang Yoga, and he had written a book called as a Astadhyayi. Sanskrit is the considered a language of the Aryans, and it has been accepted by the international level. Okay, even I would like to say that if you are programming of the computer by using the Sanskrit language, then no virus can effect on that program. Completely safe and protected program if you are using the Sanskrit. No one can decode the Sanskrit languages program. Okay, so here Sanskrit is the best language of the computer use. So if you are using the Sanskrit language while making a program, so it will be best. Ancient literature can be divided into the can be divided into the various part. Let's see about the Veda. There are four Veda. Basic Vedas are the four. This is an important topic. You may be asked for the 2 marks, that is, give the detail about Veda. So there are four Veda. Among these four Veda, oldest Veda is the Rig Veda. Rig Veda is the most ancient work of the Indian literature. It consists of 1028 richas, so called as a verses, and generally it is called as a slokas. How many slokas are there? 1028. It is wonderful work divided into the 10 divisions. Most of the verses are prayers of the god. They were used during the yagna while doing the yagna ceremony. At that time, these slokas have been chanted by the Brahmins, and most probably this sloka dedicated to the natural god like Varun is the rain god is a Varun. Then god like Aditya, that is a sun god. Okay, you might have there is a one sloka from the Rig Veda that Adi Tasya Namaskaran Ekurvanti Dine Dine Ayu Pragya Balam Vedyam Tejas Tesham Chajayate. So such Vedas are such slokas have been written. Among the verses, those worships Usha, that is the goddesses of dawn, are fascinating. Dawn and dusk. There are two words, dawn and dusk. Dawn is the morning संध्या and dusk is the evening संध्या. Evening जब होती है तो sunset होता है, तो that thing, that the atmosphere is called as a संध्या, and in English it is called as a dusk, dusk. while in the morning जैसे सनराइज होता है और जो एटमॉस्फेयर होता है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज अ डॉन. ओके, उनको मॉर्निंग उषा बोला जाता है. This work described the political, social, and religious matter of Aryans who were residing in the region of the Sapta Sindhu. So, in the chapter 3, we have already studied about the Sapta Sindhu river and the Harappan civilization, especially where the Aryan people used to reside and they used to survive. And that is why the whole India is called as Arya Bharat, Arya Vrata. And this Rig Veda describe about their social and political and religious life of the Aryans. Sam Ved number two, that is the Sam Ved, one of the best Ved for the music. That is why the Sam Ved is called as a Gangotri of music. Samved is known as a Gangotri of music, completely composed on a singing and the music. Okay, Yajurveda. It is called as a Veda of Yagna. It is composed in a both form, prose and verses. So prose and poetry. Basically, verses are the poetry. Means you can sing that. That is the Yajurveda. That describe The hymns recited at the time of yagna, this religious practice and the rituals. So during the performing yagna, the various ruchas, the slokas, the verses have been chanted, and this how to here how to pray the Lord, how to pray the God, that is have been mentioned into the Yajur Veda, a कर्म कांड, completely कर्म कांड. The Brahmins किस तरीके से आपको पूजा करनी है, अर्चना करनी है, किस तरीके से कौन से डेटी के लिए कौन से टाइप की पूजा करनी है, क्या क्या चीजों की आवश्यकता है, सारी डिटेल इट्स गिवन इन द यजुर वेदा. And Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda describe the various types of the rituals and the संस्कारास. अथर्व वेदा जो है उसमें डिफरेंट टाइप्स के रिचुअल्स दिए हुए हैं एंड संस्कारास दिया हुआ है. सो दीज आर द फोर वेदा. मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट वेदा इज द ऋग वेदा, oldest Veda having the 1028 ruchas and the verses. Now, Upanishad. It is to be said that if you quiz the Veda, what is remain in your hand, that is the Upanishad. Whatever the description has given into the Veda, the simple and normal explanation is the Upanishad. The Upanishadic literature gives us a vivid description and analysis of beginning of the universe, the mystery of the life and the death, materialistic and the spiritual world. Brihadaranya, Chandogaya are the earliest Upanishada in a dialogue form. Okay, these are the basically there are 108 Upanishads. East, Ken, Mandukya, Itretar, Brahman, Brihadaranya, then Chandogaya. These are the various Upanishads, and they are describing the beginning of the universe, uh, mystery of the life and the death, and so on. Brahmanical literatures, many epics were composed to understand the meaning of Vedic literature. So whatever written in the Ved, to understand that Vedic literature, the Brahmanical literatures have been made. Any critical appreciation based on Veda composed in a poetic form are included in the Brahminical literature. Vedic literature and directive principles regarding the behavior have been explained broadly. That how to behave, that is described in a Brahminical literature. Aranyakas. Aranya, that is called as a jungle, forest. The literature composed in a forest, that is called as a Aranyaka, jungle. Aranyak used to spend Aryans. They used to spend the last phase of the life in the Aranyakas. Aranyakas, that is the forest. Aranyak is a Sanskrit word. The meaning of the Aranya is the forest. So Aryan, they used to spend their their last period of the life in the forest. Basically, the avasthas are there, various avasthas. The first avastha, that is called as the Balya avastha. Balya avastha means your childhood. Balya avastha. Balya avastha, that is next after the Balya avastha you take the education and all. ये सब बाल्य अवस्था में आएगा. बाल्य अवस्था के बाद आता है गृहस्थ अवस्था, where you get married and hold the whole responsibility and all. Then आता है वानप्रस्थ. These are called as ashrams also. Ashrams. Balyashram, then Grihasthashram, then Vanprasthashram. Vanprasthashram, that is called as a going into the jungle for attaining the moksha, salvation. Attaining the salvation. That is the Vanprasthashram. And after the Vanprasthashram, that is sannyas. Sannyas, that is you left all the materialistic world and just live your life simply into the forest by dedicating your life to the Lord, completely in focus to the worshiping the Lord for attaining the salvation. That is called as a sannyas ashram. So the Aryan, they used to live their latter life or their last period of life in the forest, and there they composed this literature work that is called as Aranyakas. They composed literature based on philosophy, which was a result in the deep thinking, is known as Aranyakas. So after the experience of the whole life, from his own life and from his own observation, they have made this philosophical literature by the deep thinking that is called as the Aranyaka. Now it's Vedanga. The Vedang literature deal with the religious practice and the rituals and the grammar, astrology and the astronomy. These are the Vedang. The different types of the Vedangs are there. So Ved, Upanishad, Brahmanical literature, Aranyakas and the Vedang. These are called as a early Vedic period and the Vedic period. Vedic period. Okay. Now, these are the two important books, that is the Ramayana and Mahabharata, were the two great Indian epics. The present form of these epics can be traced back to the second century. The Ramayana has the story of Ramachandra, the king of Ayodhya. The Ramayana is a smaller epic than the Mahabharata. It narrates many attractive stories of the adventure. A Kand, basically Kand, the Ramayana is written in a various Kand. Total seven Kands are there. Bal Kand, Sundar Kand, Kishkinda Kand, Lanka Kand. So in the seven different Kand, the whole Ramayana has been divided. Especially it deal and focus with the characteristic of the Ram, Lord Ram. It is to be said the Lord Ram is the Purna Purushottam. If you want to live your life, then be a Ram. Live your life like a Ram. The Ramayana shows that how you can be a great son, how you can be a great husband, how you can be a great wife, how you can be a great brother, how you can be a great companion, and the great friendship of Ram and the Hanuman. The Tulsidas has written Ramcharitmanas, completely based on the Ramayana. We will discuss it. The Tulsidas will come in this Ramcharitmanas, and he had described all the things. Okay, so Ramayana is one of the best epic, showing the perfect personality. Mahabharata. महाभारत इज द वर्ल्ड्स लार्जेस्ट एपिक. दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा एपिक महाभारत has a 1 lakh verses. It has a 1 lakh verses, and Ramayana, sorry, Mahabharata is written in a Karnava. Karnava, Kanv, Karnava. It is written in a Karnava. Okay, sorry, not Karnava. I'm really sorry. It's my fault. It's written in a Kadvu. Kadvu. The Mahabharata is written in a Kadvu and having a 1 lakh verses. This describes the war between the Kauravas and Pandavas. Besides, it also consists of numerous stories. The Bhagavad Gita, the part of Mahabharata, expound the deep philosophical principles, and it conveys the message of achieving moksha or the salvation through the jnana, karma, and bhakti. Basically, Mahabharata has a various stories, and among these stories, the 18 days of war between the Kauravas and Pandavas. That is the most important. And on the basis of that, the Mahabharata has been very famous because during the Mahabharata, a Lord Krishna gave a message to the Lord Arjun, one of the brightest Pandav, Arjun, and that called as a Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is one of the best Hindu philosophical book. सब कुछ उसमें दिया हुआ है, सब कुछ, और that is a most important religious book for the Hindu. That is the Maha. That is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The meaning of Bhagavata. Bhagavata. That is a Bhagavan Vada. The said by the Lord. Said by the Lord. That is the Bhagavad. And the most important sentence of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita is the Karishyeva Tava Vachanam. Karishyeva Tava Vachanam. This sentence has been told by the Arjuna after the listening the whole story and the whole philosophical principles regarding the Gyan, regarding the Bhakti, regarding the Karma, regarding the moksha, that how to get the moksha, how you get the salvation, what is the best way to live your life, what is the karma, how to do the karma. If you will do the good karma, good deeds, you will get return, good returns, and if you will do the bad deeds, you will get bad returns. And if you are doing anything, don't wait for the fruits. Don't wait for the fruits. That is told in the Gita. अक्सर आप लोगों ने सुना होगा, कर्म करते रहो, फल की चिंता मत करो. The sentences has been derived from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Okay, sorry. And here Arjun told that after listening the whole the things, whole the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Arjun told that Karishev tava vachanam means आपने जो बोला वो ही मैं करूंगा. आपने जो बोला वो ही मैं करूंगा. दैट इज द करिष्ये वचनम. इसका मतलब ये होता है. That is a mythological story. There is a question. Someone has asked me a question, sir. Is it a real story? Here I would like to say it is a legendary and it's a mythological story. You cannot deny or you cannot accept the concept. हम उनको एक्सेप्ट भी नहीं कर सकते, हम उनको डिनाई भी नहीं कर सकते. डिनाई नहीं कर सकते, इनका रीजन ये है कि जो भी रामायण और महाभारत में दिया है वो आज है, वो आज एग्जिस्ट है. अयोध्या तो अयोध्या एग्जिस्ट है, लंका तो श्रीलंका एग्जिस्ट है, राम सेतु जो बनाया था तो वो भी एग्जिस्ट है आज. महाभारत में कुरुक्षेत्र का मैदान के बारे में आता है, इंद्रप्रस्थ, हस्तिनापुर, दिल्ली, दिल्ली इज कॉल्ड एज हस्तिनापुर, तो हस्तिनापुर के बारे में, तो दिल्ली के बारे में, फिर इंद्रप्रस्थ तो पंजाब उसके बारे में है. तो थिंग्स आर एग्जिस्टेड. तो मना भी नहीं कर सकते कि भी ये सही हो सकता है या नहीं. और द वे दे हैव डिस्क्राइब द स्टोरी, इट कैन नॉट बी बिलीवेबल. हम उनको बिलीव भी नहीं कर सकते कि ये चीज भी हो सकती है. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल कौरव, देयर वर 100 कौरव्स. एक वीमेन, हाउ कैन अ वीमेन कैन गिव द बर्थ ऑफ द 100 चिल्ड्रन. तो ये थोड़ा सा ना legendary type, mythological type story. But the most important thing, that is the philosophical ideas. हमें क्या सीखना है इसमें? जो philosophical ideas है, that is the best thing. वो बेस्ट है, वो हमें सीखना है. ये स्टोरी से हमें वो सीखने का प्रयास करना है. Okay, both the epics, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, have been influencing the millions of Indians and the literature for a long period of time. They have implanted the motivational seeds of sanskar in the Indians. तो इंडिया के अंदर जो मोटिवेशनल संस्कार जो होते हैं इंडियंस, जो हम प्राउड करते हैं कि वी आर द इंडियंस, तो ये बिकॉज ऑफ दिस philosophical ideologies. During the period of the Sanskrit literature, we produced which contained a good combinations of the religious and the worldly aspects of the life. So here a combination can be seen in the Sanskrit literature. It is also about the religion and it is also about the various aspects of the life. The Puranas played an important role in explaining the initial Vedic religions of the earlier time. During this period, many scripture and the Smruti Grantha have composed. Earlier, here I would like to say, earlier there was no pen and paper. So, this religious philosophical thought transferred from generation to generation by the two process that is called as a smriti and smruti. Smruti, that is a listening the words, listening the verses, listening the prose, and smriti यानी कि उनको याद रखना, सुनना और याद रखना, then pass it on to the another generation. इस तरीके से आज हमारे पास आया जो भी अभी हमारे पास है वो दिस इज द वे. ठीक है, ऐसा माना जाता है कि वेदा हैज नॉट बीन रिटन बाय एनीवन. वेदा जो है वो किसी के द्वारा लिखा नहीं गया, वो अपौरुषेय है. अपौरुषेय मीन्स किसी के बारे, किसी ने इनको लिखा नहीं है, क्योंकि इनको लिखा नहीं गया है, इनको ट्रांसफर किया गया हुआ. और सपोज मैं, मेरे पास वेदों का नॉलेज है, तो उस नॉलेज में मैं अपना भी कुछ नॉलेज ऐड करके फिर आगे उनको ट्रांसफर करता हूं. दैट इज हाउ द वेदास डेवलप्ड. ओके, Adib, I will ask you very soon, my dear, please. I will ask you very soon. Okay. This scripture dealt with the science and the philosophy. For example, Kautilya's Arthashastra. Kautilya, that is the Chanakya. Chanakya was a guru and a preacher, a spiritual preacher and the political guru of the Chandragupta Maurya. And he written the Arthashastra in Sanskrit. The book Arthashastra is in Sanskrit. और चाणक्य नीति आपने भी नाम शायद सुना होगा. A book of management as well as a book of various topics such as art, mathematics and the other science. The Smruti Granth as an example, the religious teaching, laws and the custom. So Smruti Granth teaches us the various types of the aspects of the life, the laws, the customs, the rituals, and the traditions of the people. Okay, here